Okay. So here we go. Hello, everyone. I think we're about to go live. And here we are. So welcome, everyone. It's a little dance you do with YouTube because it pops up and then it plays in the background. So you have to close it off really fast. Yes. Yeah. That's why I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So yes, hello, everyone. Welcome. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Stephanie Chevalier. My students know me as Miss Stephanie. And we are doing another interview today. I know, isn't that fabulous? And this is with the wonderful Shana Fishman. And we have lots to talk about today, but we have the main thing we have to talk about is the concert coming up. So I would like to introduce Shana, and she'll tell you a little bit about the concert, and then we'll move on.
Great. Yeah. So it's this Friday at 7:30. It's actually, Stephanie, could you pull up the ticket so people can see the address?
There we go. Yes.
Yeah, because I just want to make sure I don't get the address wrong, because that could go badly. Yes. But there will also be a streaming link. It'll be a Facebook Live and a YouTube Live, and it'll be posted Friday morning. But if you can come, if you're COVID free and nearby, we always appreciate having an audience when possible.
But the wonderful thing is for like us out of towners.
Yeah.
We can, so everybody who sees this here, so, I'm 3 hours away, so I'll get to, I'll wait patiently for the link. I'm so excited. And then Shana, will you post it in the comment section on Friday?
Yes.
Once it's out?
Yes. And I'll also post, one of us will also. So this is the name, as you can see for this concert, is Serata. My Italian is awful. Serata Lyrica. Thank you. Lady who lived in Italy. Serata Lyrica. And it's Lyrica. And it's right now it's raising money for the Laura Paquiletti Memorial Scholarship Fund. It's a scholarship fund that helps send students to the Bel Canto and Tuscany Opera Institute in Italy, in Tuscany. It's a program that works with both senior and high school college students and adults who are really first starting their careers. It's two separate groups, but it's the same program. And this scholarship fund helps both. It's to help students of college age and starting out their careers afford the tuition, afford room and board, airplane ticket, that kind of thing. So more people can get the education.
It's so important. And having that immersion, and oddly enough, I actually studied German when I was in Italy. I studied German and Italian. Yeah,
you told me that, yeah.
Yeah, at the Koine Center. I know, right? But having that immersion into the language, the culture, and the bel canto style of singing, just having that immersion, that immersive experience is so important.
Yeah.
When you come back, you'll be able to pronounce this with no problem.
So, okay, in my defense, I should have practiced saying that a few times before we went live, but may that be the worst mistake I make. May that be the worst mistake I make.
It does get complicated because, for instance, the lady's name, Pasqualetti. I mean, when you have a double T or when you have a single T, I mean, little things like this that make all the difference. So I'm super excited for you and Ariel and all of the other people, all of the other young singers that are going over there to have this experience. It's so exciting.
So sorry. What'll be happening with this concert? It's actually so there are two groups in the summer program, but this concert will be me and Ariel, I believe, are the only performers from. So it's a young artists a young artist group, and then I believe young performers, I think is what they call it. So I believe Ariel and I are the only ones from the young artists program. Emerging, it's young artists and I believe emerging artists or emerging performers. So Ariel and I are the only two. We're quite a bit younger than everyone else. And everyone else is from the emerging artist group. So you'll get to see a little bit of both groups and what we can put on.
That's so exciting. I can't wait. So it's this Friday, January 28th at 7:30 in the evening. And there is a discussion that will happen at 6:30, an introduction to bel canto discussion that will happen at 6:30 for anyone that's interested. And we'll put all that information in the comment section on Friday morning.
Also, part of that will be, I'll try and put it up before, but the latest would be Friday morning with the rest of the links. There's a link to the donation page where you can, tickets are free, but if you are so inspired by the music you come to listen to, we very much appreciate any help towards this fund so that more people, students of all ages, can get an incredible education.
Absolutely. And please share the link. When the links come out, share the link, share this little interview so that people can learn about this program for young artists and emerging artists. You just can't get that level of study here unless you're studying English. But in order to get that high level of Italian and bel canto study, you really do need to go to Italy. So I'm super excited for everybody. So let's circle back. I want to take a few minutes and talk about because so much has been happening. I want to circle back and talk about what it was like, what it has been like being a music major, a voice major, a major of a performing arts, performing arts major, shall we say, during COVID, because you graduated, correct me if I'm wrong, you graduated and did your auditions for your college auditions in the middle of COVID, in the beginnings of COVID.
Yeah. So
and
actually,
so tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah. So I was actually really lucky. My very last, so I was auditioning at many, many colleges. I ended up having to fly across the country a few times. I was really lucky that the very last audition that I was going on that required a plane ticket was right before quarantine and planes were grounded. But my very last,
I was already hiding in my closet at this point.
Yeah, I remember we actually had a conversation while I was in the airport and you were talking about the scary thing called COVID. And I was telling you like, oh, it's not that big a deal. See, everyone's still on airplanes.
I mean, I quit my job. I was like, oh yeah, I quit my job. I was literally hiding in the closet. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so a couple days after I got off the plane, planes were no longer flying. So in that way, I was very lucky. But I think I had one or two more auditions after that one. And they ended up getting canceled. Like, I think one of them did have the option that we could send in a video, but I did not have at that time, no one had the setup, unless they were already planning on sending in a video, no one had the right setup for it.
No, nobody was prepared for it, especially musically speaking. Nobody was prepared for it.
So that's
people know the setup is different when you go to sing into a microphone. It's not like when you're just in a regular Zoom meeting, everything all of a sudden becomes distorted and everything gets turned on its ear because it's not used to compressing that kind of sound. Yeah. So you have to get a whole new system. Anyway,
like this kind of microphone, I would, at least not opera, I would not be able to sing into this and come out with any sort of sound that I would. Yeah,
especially with the piano in the background. No.
So this is a fine microphone for talking to a friend, but
yes.
Auditioning for a placement in a college program, not so much.
So how did you end up studying with Maestro Giovanni? How did you end up coaching with him and in this program to begin with? Because that's a far stretch from Interlaken, which is where you went to high school.
Yeah.
The arts program
Nowheresville,
there.
Michigan.
Yes, that's a far cry from Italy. So how did that happen?
Well, lady asking the questions, I got an amazing introduction by an amazing teacher who said, hey, there's this guy who lives not that far away from you. Maybe you would hit it off in a teacher-student relationship. That lady's name was Stephanie Chevalier.
And that was during COVID, right? Because there was
no, actually, it was.
Was it right
so
before?
we met. So the first time we had a lesson, I had just turned 18.
That's right.
Like I think we started emailing when I was still 17, but because, well, I was living in Nowheresville, Michigan.
That's right. He was going to help you prepare for auditions.
Exactly. Yeah. So he was going to help me prepare for auditions. And, it was just a really great experience to study with a man with his career, who's had the amazing career that he's had and the experiences working with these amazing artists that we've all heard of. So I think like the first time we actually had a lesson was, I think it was right before Thanksgiving. That's right. Because it was like the day before Thanksgiving. That's why I remember. And then COVID didn't really start being a thing in America until
the end of January.
Yeah, January. So I at least had a few months.
Close.
Yeah. And then I just kept on having lessons with him throughout COVID, a lot of time on Zoom.
Well, we were lucky because I would say lucky because he was available because all the opera houses had closed down.
Yeah.
So it was just so happened. Okay, what am I going to do? Everything's delayed.
Yeah.
So now you luckily had someone to study with, right?
Right. And so when we started talking about what are your plans for the summer, everyone assuming that, hey, this little thing called COVID will of course be done by the summer. There's no way we would still be having this issue. It was almost done.
It was, we could see it was almost.
Another month. And then another month. And shoot, it's been 18 months. over 18 months now.
It's been a full
20 something now, right? Oh, it's
been a full 2 years.
Yeah, because we've done a full rotation in January's.
We're now into the third year.
Yeah. Jesus. So we started talking with the assumption that, this could not possibly go on by the summer. And he told me that he had this amazing program in Italy and would I like to audition? And the way he described it sounded amazing. The ability to go to Tuscany and, Stephanie, are you there? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, let's try this.
Apparently I'm back. You're sideways.
Oh, Jesus. better? Blooper reel. What? What did I do?
You said, "Oh Jesus." That was the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Well,
in my
I
life.
might not believe in that guy, but he still makes a pretty good expletive.
That was just so funny.
Well, glad I could help.
That was hilarious. Okay, I have no idea what happened.
Okay. I can hear an echo of myself now.
Okay, hold on. Now.
You still live?
Yes. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, oh Jesus. Okay, look, we can edit all that out. We can, and we can.
I don't know. I think it was pretty funny.
I'm dying. We can edit out what we need to, but anyway. And I kept talking like I was online. That was hilarious. Well, to make a short story shorter, you guys ended up studying. You studied with him all during the pandemic.
Yeah. So I originally was studying opera at Florida State University, and then Florida got kind of insane.
Oh, the numbers were crazy.
I decided it was probably a good idea to, go to a somewhat safer pastures for a time. And then so that left me, a whole semester where I wasn't in school or anything. And so I essentially started an apprenticeship with him. I just started, I saw him like for 4 hours every week. We got really in depth. We actually started working on more than just singing. We worked on things like opera history and, I got a lot better at, theory.
Your ear training got really good. Your ear training really, y'all worked a lot on that, which was great.
And so now we're here, and I'm actually now Florida stayed kind of a mess. So now I'm here in Maryland going to Towson University, and I'm actually doing jazz now, but that doesn't change the fact that I've been studying opera for 4 years already, more than actually.
It's funny. You're at an interesting time in vocal studies, I believe. Mm-hmm. You're coming in at a time where it used to be that you had to make this major decision as to what path. And if you chose to be an opera singer, you didn't do anything else. It's just like in piano, if you chose being a classical pianist, you never learned anything else. You didn't learn how to accompany. You didn't learn how to read from a chord sheet. You didn't learn how to read from a fake book or nothing. So I think you're at an interesting time now where we as educators are encouraging people, and and it still bothers me a little bit because part of me still holds on to that old way of thinking. That there's only one way, but in fact, good singing is good singing, and you shouldn't have to just do one thing.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I think I don't remember who first said this to me, but I was once told that nowadays what makes a successful musician as a profession is a musician who has a toolbox filled with as many different diversified skills and tools that they can just pull out of that toolbox and can be incredibly flexible in so many different types of situations. So that's really what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to really diversify my toolbox. I've spent such a long time studying classical music and then opera music, and now I'm studying jazz and more contemporary and seeing how that goes.
And I have to say that Shana is also, she's becoming such a well-rounded musician. She's also coming to, well, you are. She's also learning how to accompany herself on piano. She's a pianist as well. And she's also learning how to accompany herself in piano, because it's a whole different thing, playing chords and
Yeah.
accompanying yourself. And she's learning to accompany herself on the ukulele. So she's learning all sorts of different skills that I think you're going to find quite useful as a professional musician.
Yes, if I could ever get the hang of it. I mean, you're my ukulele teacher. Ukulele, it's easy for some people. I'm finding it to be a bit difficult myself.
You'll get it once you get the 4 chords down. You'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
this is great. And then you have a capo. That's really all you need in life. 4 chords and a capo. You're good. You'll get them. It took me like 6 months to get those 4 chords and playing them regularly. Yeah, I mean, my fingers wanted to play piano. This is a whole different.
Yeah, a different animal. Well, I do have a brother who plays guitar, and I do have a sister who played cello and is now teaching herself the bass. So if I can't get ukulele, I can at least voice it off it to one of them and make them accompany me.
Oh, I think you'll get quite good at it. Well, so now so you have the rest of the semester coming. Do you have any other performances coming up this semester? Anything happening this spring at Towson?
Not as of yet. I do. So I am, there will be at least one choir performance. The Towson actually has a surprisingly large number of choirs among, made up of the students. They've got a women's choir, a men's choir, although they are talking about changing it to calling it treble and bass choirs. Mm-hmm. They've got a chorale. They've got any chamber singer, like they've got a actually pretty large selection in terms of choirs. So there'll be at least one, if not more, probably we're talking at least 2 concerts towards the end of the year, most likely. And this will actually be the first semester I will be joining a jazz combo ensemble. So hopefully that means there'll be some more performances with those guys who I've yet to meet, but
That's
it's exciting. Yeah.
That's very different. So you'll have that jazz experience before you head off to study bel canto. That's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So as of right now, it's looking like school years will be jazz, gospel, popular, all that stuff. And then summers will be opera, which I'm okay with.
That's very cool. And I think they're calling that commercial music now. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's evolving very quickly, and I'm happy to see that it is. Well, let me do a screen share again, just so that everybody can just take a look at this beautiful artwork.
The ticket.
And yes. And just to remind everyone that the concert is Friday, January 28th at 7:30. And that's this Friday. And any of your donations will support the Laura Pasqualetti Memorial Scholarship Fund. And this will really help support students heading off to Serata Lyrica. So I encourage you to donate generously.
Yeah, and the address for if you can come in person is just in the bottom part of that ticket.
Yes, 115 East Fairfax Street. And this will be posted. We'll post this in the comment section Friday, so you'll know exactly where to go. That's in Falls Church. And if you're out of town like I am, you can catch it online.
Yeah, the links will go live Friday morning, but the rest of the times, 6:30 and 7:30, are all the same.
Excellent.